it's me, Gnome Child, and welcome to the Tree Gnome Stronghold. Today we're going to be cooking some foods from the Runescape official cookbook. So here is the Runescape official cookbook. We're going to be making 3 awesome recipes tonight. So the 3 recipes that we're going to be making tonight are curry, Festive Gingerbread Gnomes, and Cooked Jubbly. Let's get cooking. I'm going to start with the curry. Bring some butter in a saucepan and melt that over medium-low. Last time I made the roux, we had to get it to the color of milk chocolate. This time we only have to get it to the color of peanut butter. That is 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Like, rotate it a little. I have a plan for chopping these onions. I'm just gonna put them in the blender. This is starting to get frothy, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do with it. All right, so I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of flour. Jesus is a true homie. Yeah, really sad he's dead now. Don't worry, guys. Spoiler alert, he comes back to life. That's about 1/4 cup, and now we're at about 1/2 cup. Eventually, it's going to come together. Hopefully, it'll come together nicely for me. Look at her. She's reading the cookbook. I don't know if it's supposed to bubble. So it only goes for about 10 to 15 minutes. If you put a wet towel under your cutting board, it won't slide around as much. Right. Chop in half. Throw in blender. All right, Pepsi, let's go. It's a really nice looking slurry. So you want your onion Pepsi slurry to look exactly like this when you're done. They didn't have Japanese curry powder in my store, so I just got whatever this is. So it looks like they give you 5 tablespoons, but you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Not quite peanut butter yet, but we're almost there. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. So it came out a little fast. I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of ground coriander. Come over here, stir this, and then grind my own black pepper. Pepper into here. About that much. 1/2 teaspoon of ground mustard. Does splash a little in there. Cinnamon, cardamom, and ground clove. You're supposed to use a 1/4 teaspoon of each of these. I'm gonna wing it. All right, so the spice ratio in this might be a little off, but we're gonna add all of these spices now. Stir until fragrant, which is gonna be about 1 minute. Once it starts getting fragrant, I can take it off the heat and set it aside. 2 tablespoons of neutral oil. That's about 1, 2. I'm going to add the onions to that. I added a lot of Pepsi to this. That's gonna be over a medium-high heat. And we're just gonna wait until these onions get softened and cooked up. It's an apple that has been peeled. I'm really excited to try curry that has apple in it. And this is a Fuji apple because this is a Japanese curry. I need 4 cloves of garlic. What we want to look for, guys, is a translucent onion. I'm gonna add some minced garlic to this. Or crushed garlic, whichever you prefer. And here comes the 4th clove of garlic. If you're a normie, you can stop here. If you're a gnome child, you might want to keep going. Now I can add my whole grated Fuji apple. How we're looking so far. And I'm also going to add freshly ground ginger. This is 1 tablespoon of freshly grated ginger. Close enough, right? You're gonna want to use 2 pounds of chicken thigh. I'm doing 1 pound of chicken thigh and 1 pound of tofu. I don't like the look of this, guys. They're weird. I can't let a little chicken scare me. What am I? Chicken? Woo! Look at that. It's like greenish looking. Add 1 pound of chicken in here. 2 pounds if you're doing a regular batch. I'm also going to add vegetable stock or chicken stock if you're not a vegetarian. Normally I cook my tofu first. This time I'm just gonna try cooking it in the curry. I'm gonna grab a little stirrer thing and stir this up. We wanna make sure the chicken is fully cooked. My husband being a dog though. So 1/2 of the carrots and 1/2 of the potatoes. And stir these. And I believe this cooks for like 15 minutes or so over medium-high. I think I also want to add 2 bay leaves and 2 curry leaves. Everything all gets added here. I could not find curry leaves in the grocery store, so I've just got curry powder. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup or honey. I've got maple syrup here. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Also, 2 tablespoons of mirin and 1 tablespoon of salt. Here we go. And the elite ingredient for this is spice. This is all spice, so I'm sure it's got spice in here somewhere. That's kind of a lot. We're gonna cover these and let them simmer for about 20 minutes. We're gonna make some festive gingerbread gnomes. If you don't know what these are, that's okay. Festive gingerbread gnomes were from a holiday event in old school RuneScape in like 2021. So if you weren't playing back then, you have no idea what they are because they've been discontinued. We're gonna melt our butter again. 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter and melt that until it's foaming. About 5 to 8 minutes until it turns golden brown. We're gonna get salt. You're going to use 3/4 of a teaspoon. About this much is 3/4 of a teaspoon. And I'm gonna measure out 2 cups of flour. 1 cup, 2 cups. And then I'm gonna mix baking powder and baking soda. I need both, guys. I don't have both. We're just gonna make do. We're just gonna double up on the baking soda. 3/4 teaspoon baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm gonna put about this much in and pray. And this just gets mixed up together. I might not have a dragon longsword, but I've got my dragon mace. Mace. Get it? I didn't know mace was a thing, but it's the outside of nutmeg. I'm just gonna scrape the sides, which you're supposed to do constantly. 1/4 teaspoon of ground mace. Like, why bother even measuring them in this giant bowl when I'm only using 1/4 teaspoon? Tastes kind of like nutmeg. I had to put a taste on it. 2 teaspoons of ground ginger because this is gingerbread. So 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 1/2 teaspoon of fresh black pepper. This is burnt. So if you happen to burn your butter, that's because you're not doing what it says of stirring constantly. Don't talk about some butter, but the butter ruined the good butter and they didn't care. The end. All right, we need 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. About that much. Keep melting butter. You're doing great. I'm so proud of you. If you talk nicely to it, it might not burn. 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove. About that much. You mix this until it's smooth. It's just spices. Like, that's not hard. Don't forget to stir my butter. We're just gonna peek on our curry. Whoa. Moist. Please don't burn again. Please don't burn again. The butter wrapper was sticking to that really good. This is worse than the time that the metal piece got in with the baked potato. I can't really tell how brown it's getting because of all the foam on top. Just foamy. It's not really burning. It's just getting brown. So I stir in 1/2 cup of brown sugar and treacle molasses. If you flip it over and it stays like this, you're good. So I'm gonna add that to this brown butter. We've got our 1/2 cup of brown sugar in here. And we do need to add a little bit of Pepsi. Look at that. I hardly added any Pepsi, but we're already tripled in size. Treacle / molasses, you're gonna add a 1/2 cup of that. Add that in here. This is just a dark brown mixture at this point. I've got these spices and this nearly overboiling pot of molasses and other things. And I think it goes something like this. It's starting to smell pretty good. I forgot it's hot. Look, we got them all out. Oh, actually it gets beaded. At first I thought these were all shell pieces. It's actually just egg that got cooked. So we're gonna add the flour mixture to this. So add that and stir it until there's no lumps. And you just want to incorporate all of that flour so there's no dry streaks. While this is chilling, we're going to work on the 3rd and final recipe of the night, which will be our cooked jubbly. So we've got this nice dough here. It looks like I'm scooping up poop. Chill that in the fridge. So our next recipe is going to be that cooked jubbly. And it's basically just a jubbly bird that's cooked. It may not contain giblets. As if that's a bad thing. Guessing this is its breast. This is its back. This is its tailbone / butt. I got the giblets. You can do this, menu. You can do this. You've got the power of dank memes. Cut along one side. This is like arts and crafts. Repeat on the other side of the backbone. Oh dear. I'm sure it'll taste really delicious. I'm just gonna massage it, make it tender. Don't want it to have any back problems. Splay out the thighs and legs. Stretch in its legs. Get a nice stretch on those legs, chicken. Do your aerobics. Press down on the upper part of the breast to break the backbone. I'm basically just giving it CPR right now. Oh, did you guys hear that crack? The wishbone, rather, not the backbone. We're breaking some part of this chicken. CPR. He'll make it. It's fine. Doing great, buddy. I'm supposed to somehow take the backbone out of the chicken? I don't know what the backbone is. Maybe I'm supposed to cut this entire bone and pull it out. This poor chicken looks so sad. Doesn't look like a happy chicken, guys. We're gonna leave the backbone in it. Well, because I don't know what's his back and what's his front. All I know is bok bok. I don't know how long that dough has been going, but it needs to chill for an hour. Everything except the chicken goes in a blender. That's gonna be 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme leaves. A little stem never hurt anyone, right? Now I add 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. Right. 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of fresh black pepper, 1 large white onion, peeled and quartered. So I've added my onion. 6 cloves of garlic. Okay. Juice and zest of 3 lemons. I'm just gonna squeeze them in. 1/4 cup of oil into this mixture. And now we blend it. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, it is. We pour this into a bag with the chicken. We already discovered how small my Ziploc bags are. I'm just gonna pour it into a bowl and add the chicken to the bowl. It's bath time. Add a little bit of Pepsi, of course. The elite ingredient for this recipe is 5 wimpy feathers. 1 wimpy feather, 2 wimpy feather, 5 wimpy feather. All right, guys, this gets to marinate. Now you can grill this or you can cook it in the oven. If you do use the oven, it's gonna be 450 for about 55 to 65 minutes. I'm gonna marinate this for 4 hours. So you're gonna remove this and pat it dry gently to remove any excess. So just remove any excess moisture. It's arts and crafts again. We're looking great so far. It's got legs. So now we've got a bird with stubby little wings. What do you say? That's like a pointed beak and a somewhat round head. Voila, it's a jubbly. Look, they're friends. Heart? Hi, are you reading the cookbook? What a good girl. I'm just scooping a little bit of stock into the prepared curry roux. Whisk it until it's smooth. And then we have to cook it for 10 to 15 more minutes? I was like ready to serve and eat. The fat and the other things separated kind of. I'm just gonna mix it up with my finger. I've got my little roux stirring stick over here. So I'm gonna bring that back into action and use it to scoop about half of the roux into a separate container. So 1 cup of this broth. And this one has a piece of chicken in it. Do you guys see my cat? She's so cute. Whisk this until smooth. So this gets added back to the other stuff. And now we cook it for 10 to 15 minutes. She's helping so much. We usually don't get to see her help this much during the cooking streams. We are very fortunate today. I honestly was thinking you just top it with straight roux. Oops. Can you see that? I need to make the icing for those festive gingerbread gnomes. So I'm gonna grab 2 cups of powdered sugar. That's about 1 cup. 2 cups. I need 2 egg whites for this. Now, when we did the brulee supreme, we used the yolks. So maybe a good thing to do in combination. But gotta be extra careful with just how I'm pouring this. And I'm gonna add this one at a time so that if I do get shell, it doesn't ruin the other egg that's in here. So we are 2 for 2, no shell with those egg whites, and just dump that. So my roux timer is done. You can take those bay leaves out. Spoon your curry over some rice. A taste test bowl, essentially, with some curry over rice. I'm excited to try it. We've got our curry here. It's really hot, but I'm okay that it doesn't have anything gnomish. I'm actually menu guide. It's the duality. I have to finish this icing. I was just about to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. There's 1. That's 2. Half a teaspoon of salt. Salt in my hand and just add that in. Now I add 1 tablespoon of cream and then mix it a little bit more. It says 1 to 2 tablespoons. Clean the surface. My kitchen always feels so chaotic when I do these streams. Now is my time. Just gonna start with 1 batch of cookies. We want to make this 1/4 of an inch thick. Give it like more pointed ears. The cookbook shows little noses on them. Roll a little ball. and put it in the middle of the cookie. Okay, I gotta take that out of the oven though. All right, guys, this is our cooked jubbly. Look at it. We're gonna give that cooked jubbly a little bit to cool before we eat it. In the meantime, just gotta cut these little gnomes out. These festive gingerbread gnomes bake at 350. There we go. It's got its little nose on it. It'll be a different texture if you don't chill it. And take some time to chill yourself as well, because while you're doing that, you can play some old school RuneScape, some RuneScape 3, some RuneScape Dragon Wilds, perhaps. The cookbook says, cook time, 7 minutes. And then it says, bake for 10 to 12 minutes. Here's my little festive ginger gnomes, and I'm gonna put these in the oven. I'm gonna do 7 minutes on that. I'm gonna try this cooked jubbly. I'm just gonna grab a piece here. And I can only really comment on the flavor profile of the spices. And they're good. I didn't make it with chicken. It's not going to be as flavorful. But as a tofu marinade, it's pretty decent. If it did sit for the full 12 hours, it would probably be a lot more flavorful. Look at them. I didn't eat the actual jubblies, just the feathers. RuneScape needs to add a jubbly dating quest. You can help the jubblies meet and fall in love and escape the hunters. I'm going to try and dye the icing. So take some icing and pour it into a clean cat food bowl. Just like pouring a whole bunch, and hopefully that's enough glitter. You just gotta be patient with it and give it a minute. They did spread out quite a bit, but you can still kind of tell that they're gnomes. Let them cool in the pan for a few minutes and then transfer to a wire cooling rack to cool completely. This might brighten it up a bit. Hopefully this will do it for me. That's as close as I can get it because I can't make it any lighter, unfortunately. They say you can just dip the top of the hat. The elite ingredient for this is 24 cut sapphires. If you're not rich enough to afford 24 cut sapphires, you can use candied angelica. Stick its eyes in place here. Look at that. He is actually really cute. Look at him. Festive gingerbread gnome. He's elite because he's got these sapphire eyes. Looks just like me, don't you think? Oh, I knew I would like this. They're chewy, flavorful, sweet. I suspect that if I chilled the dough more, they maybe wouldn't have spread out as much. As sad as that is, it's time for Gnome Child to go to bed. But we made some really great recipes today. We made curry. It's cold, but it's still good. We made festive gingerbread gnomes. And cooked jubbly. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. And remember, if Gnome Child can make these, you definitely can. Festive gingerbread gnomes.